So, you remember when Joel Embiid clinched that MVP title last year? Yeah, good times. But hey, this year's a whole new ballgame. People are buzzing about who's going to take home the Michael Jordan trophy. Turns out, since Joel didn't hit that 65-game milestone this time around, he's out of the running for back-to-back MVPs. Crazy, right? Joining that exclusive club of players who've been there, done that. Seems like Giannis Antetokounmpo and our reigning champ Nikola Jokic are shaping up to be strong contenders once again. But hey, don't count out the other big names like Jayson Tatum, Luka Doncic, or Anthony Edwards. Who knows? Someone unexpected might even swoop in and steal the show.
Only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down!
Man, this season's gonna be one heck of a ride. I think we just have to accept that the media is in a phase of hating Luka. Every real superstar eventually hits this phase until they win a championship. It happened with LeBron and also happened with MJ. You can really see it now. Luka Doncic is really making waves with his game. He's not just about sinking threes anymore. He's been putting in the work on defense too, making big plays night after night. And check this out. Dallas isn't just a one-trick pony anymore. They're evolving their whole team identity around Luka's style. No wonder he's climbing up the MVP ladder like nobody's business, now sitting pretty at number 2. You know, it's interesting to think about how things have changed for Luka. I mean, he was like the NBA's golden boy for his first few years, right? But lately, it's like the vibe shifted. Ever since he missed the playoffs last season, and even before that, he's been catching some heat from the media.
Seeing you seems to be the first one to always put something bad about me. That's fine. It's all over.
Thank you, Luka.
Nobody's going to ask me about my defense, but okay.
It's kind of telling when you see that Shea was ranked higher than him among MVP voters a few weeks back. Crazy how fast the narrative can flip. SGA's been getting a lot of MVP talk lately, and it's well deserved. He's holding it down as one of the top two-way guards in the league. And let's talk about these numbers. 30.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game? That's next-level stuff right there. He's basically the driving force behind OKC's sudden rise, landing them smack in the top 3 teams out west. What's even crazier is that OKC's sitting pretty with 50 wins, leading the pack in the whole NBA. And they don't even have 2 guys averaging 20 points a game. When SGA was sidelined this season, OKC struggled, going 1-5. I know it's a small sample size, but it's still worth mentioning, especially when you compare it to how the Nuggets went 2-1 without Nikola Jokic, and the Mavs managed a 4-3 record sans Luka since the start of the year. Shows you just how much of a game changer SGA is for OKC. Looks like Nikola Jokic is on the verge of some serious history making. With 2 MVP titles already under his belt, he's inching closer to joining that exclusive club of players with 3 MVP awards. And you know what? He's still the fan favorite with a real shot at making it 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Let's dive back into the showdown between these squads, starting with Denver taking on the Mavs. Strap in, cause this one's gonna be a wild ride. First meetup in-season tournament. Jokic was absolutely unstoppable in that game. He lit it up with 33 points, shooting an insane 14 of 16 from the field. And he wasn't just scoring. He was dominating the boards with 14 rebounds and dishing out dimes left and right with 9 assists. But you know what was really special? That rare moment of pure emotion when he drained that buzzer-beating three-pointer right before halftime.
Being in those passing lanes.
Out to Jokic. You got to take the 3.
Got it! That's the way to end a half of basketball.
You could tell he was feeling it, and the whole arena was buzzing with energy. Luka Doncic was on fire too, dropping 34 points and racking up 10 rebounds and 8 assists. But those 9 turnovers must have stung. In the end, Denver came out on top, handing Dallas their first loss of the season. They kicked off their NBA Cup journey with a solid 1-0 start in group play. Still, the Nugget wins their season series 2-1 against the Mavs. But it seems like the season matchup between the Nuggets and OKC is the opposite. First meeting, Jokic's show. SGA had a tough night, only managed to put up 7 points on a rough 2 for 16 shooting. And shout out to KCP for locking him down. The Nuggets defense was on point, holding the Thunder to just 41.1% shooting overall. Jokic was on fire from the get-go, dropping 22 points in the first half, capping it off with a buzzer-beater layup. And he didn't slow down, ending the game with a solid 28 points and 14 rebounds. the Nuggets cruised to a big 128-95 win over the Thunder. But check this out. In the next 3 matchups, OKC turned the tables on Denver, taking home the W each time. With that, OKC clinched the season series, winning it 3-1. Talk about a turnaround. In their second showdown, SGA was straight up clutch. When it mattered most, he found his rhythm, especially when he started hitting those crucial free throws. His command of the offense was spot on, and those drives to the basket, they were like bulldozers, unstoppable.
Defense hangs in the air and one plus the foul.
Shai took charge and led the way to victory. In those crunch moments, it felt like he had better control over his team's offense compared to Nikola Jokic. And that gap was key, especially with Denver struggling with turnovers and clock management in the fourth quarter. SGA came through big time for OKC with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Jokic held it down for the Nuggets with 24 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds. In the third faceoff, things went south fast for the Nuggets. Jokic held his own with a solid 24 points, but SGA, he went supernova, dropping a whopping 40 points. The Nuggets just couldn't contain him, and they ended up getting blown out big time, 119-93. Nikola Jokic was out in their last season matchup with OKC. Denver just couldn't seal the deal when it counted. The Thunder snagged a crucial offensive rebound with a slim lead, then dished it to Holmgren for that game-changing three-pointer. SGA was a master at drawing fouls and sinking shots in the clutch, and his presence on the court opened up opportunities for his teammates to shine. But the million-dollar question, who's going to snatch up that MVP? Doncic, 33.9 points, 9.2 rebounds, 9.8 assists, is straight up putting up video game stats every night. But here's the crazy part. His numbers are unlike anything we've ever seen in NBA history, and he's looking like he's going to clinch his first scoring title and has dragged the Mavs into the playoffs after they didn't even make it to the last season's play-in tournament. If he had a bit better luck with injuries and a few more wins under his belt, he could have really given Jokic a run for his money.
There for Luka, and he's a one-man fast break, but at the end, Tobias Harris. The three from Doncic from beyond the hash.
SGA, 30.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, 6.2 assists, seemed to be making a strong case for the runner-up spot. I mean, just look at what he's been doing with the Thunder, turning them into the league's biggest surprise. Plus, he's been leading a top-tier offense with some seriously efficient scoring and topping it off with some stellar defense, leading the league in steals, two-way star.
Hayward's going to have to find a teammate, does so. SGA from downtown. Tight game. Shai drives in. Is he going to get the bounce? He is, and he's going to get the foul.
Jokic, 26.6 PPG, 12.4 RPG, 9.0 APG, is the real deal and deserves that title. I mean, look at the stats. He's been an absolute beast on the court, leading in all the major advanced metrics like player efficiency rating, win shares, and value over replacement player. Sure, other stars are putting up big numbers, but nobody's been as dominant and game-changing as Jokic. You'd have to go back to LeBron's prime with the Cavs to find someone orchestrating at Jokic's level. That says it all, really. Seriously, any doubts about giving Jokic that 3-time MVP title should have been wiped out by now. I mean, the guy's been killing it for 4 seasons straight, not to mention his incredible performance in the 2023 playoffs.
Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang! Nikola Jokic! Not a fluke. Jokic goes inside, lays it up and in.
It's time to start talking about Jokic in the same league as legends like Moses Malone, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson, all 3-time MVPs. And hey, don't be shocked if the Nuggets end up becoming the 4th team in the last 20 years to clinch back-to-back championships. Jokic is just that good. I know Jokic is not a fan of MVP accolades, but tell me that the MVP award comes with a horse. Who will emerge as the NBA MVP this season? Luka, SGA, or Jokic?